Morning, morning, morning. What's up, Zach, Hunnit, or 300, Brady, Rowdy, David, Chris, Evis, Porv, John, Divert, Intuition, Money, Lisa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Anna, King Carnage, Wag, Gorin, Randy, Gary, Kid83. Good morning, good morning. Morning, Jack. Morning, Alexis, JB, Purple Mango, Carrie, Jazz, Ace, Manny, Signal. Good morning, Hot Hands. Good morning, everybody. No, not a dark cloud cover mini. This would be a bearish Harami. Good wick on top. A dark cloud cover, you want to start higher and finish past the halfway point of the previous day. Good morning, Tiago. Good morning, Chris. All right, so start with the bigger time frame. And as I posted in the Discord the other night, buyers are looking to continue this rally with a hold of the recent shoulder between 406 to about 412. A break lower can bring 400, 396, and 390. A continuation, whether a bounce happens first or we just continue moving higher first, can bring 417 or the 420 range. Above that area is 425, 428, 430, 435, and 438. So a lot of levels above, a lot of levels below, but it all makes sense when you just kind of narrow it down to just where we're at personally right now and what we need to focus on. And like I said, we need to focus on the shoulder between 406 and 412 to see, does SPY hold here? Does SPY hold here for a few more days and then bounces to continue higher? Is SPY going to hold here and then break lower? You know, so we really just got to watch between 406 and 412 and, of course, the 400 level. Which today we're going to be starting relatively lower, about $3 lower. So we're already down here kind of in the middle of this range that I said between 406 and 412. And again, I post this every Sunday. I always post something about SPY the day before just so people understand what we're looking for. So that's the bigger time frame. Let's get out of the smaller time frame. And this is pretty rare. Normally we have to add, you know, our previous day open, our previous day close, our previous day high, our previous day low, pre-market low, and the pre-market high. Most of these levels are already hit with different levels from the bigger time frame, which is very, very helpful because it means we don't have to add as much. But I would like to make it a little bit more precise because you can see 408.39 is the true pre-market low, not 408.50. So we need to type all that up. So let's get it going. Where pre-market low is, or pre-market high is about 411.11. We have levels here at previous day lows and open that are a little bit more important. 412.40, 413. It's pretty much 413s that we need to look above, which is sad because that's really, really far now. Like, we need to see a pump, a hold, and then a continuation to get more passive bullish plays. Bearish plays will be a little easy because pre-market low is right there. Previous day lows at 411. Above 411, 65/413s for bullish scalps. Below 408, 35. I'm just gonna say 30s for bearish scalps. Good morning, everybody tuning in. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. I highly appreciate it. Of course, this chart's wild now on Apple because of their earnings. Pre-market low is about here, though. 152.50, pre-market high. Meat of it's 153.50's hot true high is 154.11. So we'd probably just go with the previous day close. Previous day high, previous day open, which is basically the low. That one's actually pretty easy. We can add Apple today. How was everyone's weekend though? Let me know. Anybody do anything cool? You guys get to relax? You guys just chill for the weekend? What'd y'all end up doing? You work this weekend? Good morning, Rimbo. Good morning, Burak. Good morning, everybody. Anybody else I might have missed? Good morning. Studied. I had a great weekend. Just chill with the fam. Good. Looks like everybody got to chill a little bit. Damn, that's pretty trippy, Burak. You said yesterday was mine and my dad's birthday. Today is his wife's. Good. Well, happy birthday to you and your dad and your wife, Burak. That's pretty wild, though. Y'all's birthdays line up that close. That's got to be pretty rare. Study and chill. Hell yeah. Below. So this one's trippy because you could essentially say below any of these levels, but the best level would be 188.20 because it's pretty much where the higher lows of that previous day. Below the previous day close and pre-market lows right here, and it's just a little bit more to 188.20s. So it's kind of sad, but I want to say below 188.20s. What is the previous day? 183.95. Meta is actually holding up pretty well. Keep an eye above 189.70 or below whatever this is. Am I on the right chart? Nope. There we go. That looks a little better. $190 30s targets. 192, 194, 196. Below 184 40s target. 182 75 slash 180. I don't say this much, but Google actually looks pretty good. I like that it's just kind of down and then flat, which a lot of pre-markets are like that this morning. Meta has a gap fill above and below. Yeah, they're super overbought, but that doesn't just mean you have to start shorting them instantly, but still. $84.15 on pre-market low for AMD, which, remember, AMD and NVIDIA were probably the best two we had last week for trade ideas inside the stream. You know those things I don't give. We'll have to look above 86.10, 86.75s for continuation higher, or below 84.15, which I'll probably just say 84. Above 86.10 or 86.75 for bullish scalps towards 88, 89. Below 84s, target 83. I'm gonna do 80 every dollar, and then we'll do the dollar down and then 81.65 because 82 is the next dollar. But since 81.65 is right there, might as well add that. And Netflix is down as well. I like that they're flat though. It gives them like a really, really good chance of like how I picture like tight consolidation or tight, ranges like this is I just picture like a balloon that's just getting a bunch of air shoved into it. And yeah, at first it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but as that gets bigger and bigger, it's going to explode soon, right? And that's just kind of how I picture tight consolidation. I just picture a bunch of potential energy just like sitting in one spot, just kind of consolidating, getting more pressurized, and then before it explodes or before it, it drops, it builds up this consolidation. That's kind of how I picture tight ranges and stuff like that. Let's just see what some of these side charts look like. See, yeah, they're down more again, which we talked about that last week. Baba down even more. Go figure. That one was a clean setup as well from what we talked about in here. Talking about it potentially rejecting here, hanging man with rising volume. Since then, they fell, got a little bit of a bear flag, continuation down, and they actually look like they're going down to test the 103.65, which they're already there basically. So if you see 103's break on Baba, there's a very big chance they want to test 101.30, 98.70, and probably 95. So Baba definitely looks like it has more downside if it can break the 103's. That's coin opening. They're going to be down $1 as well. Coin under 71.20s or over 75 basically looks really good. You can do coin as well if you want. $76.25. Below 71.20s. 70/68.50. And pretty big list today. We got a bunch of tickers on here today. I was trying to keep it short on all the descriptions because I have a problem with typing way too much. So I wanted to at least get a good tight description on everything, but looks like we're doing good. Alright, I sent the list out to everybody. SPY, Apple, Tesla, Meta, AMD, and Coin. I want to get a picture of the whole chart as well. Alright, cool. BBBot also posted for anybody in chat who has basic membership. They literally just posted. And we still have almost 30 minutes for the market. You'd like for Amazon to continue its crash with a few others. See you later, Rowdy. Have a great rest of your day, man. Oh, Minnie, did you hear my AMD explanation? I just want to make sure you understood that one. He said Moderna looks like it wants to break a neckline to sort of long. Oh, I thought you said short term, long term downtrend. Meta is overextended. And yeah, they could potentially be forming something here. I like this rejection here by the indecisive candle. I like this second rejection with the lower high on Moderna. I like that it's broken down. Just needs to break whatever this support is right here. It's kind of this whole general vicinity of levels here. They break that though. They're not looking too hot. You'll probably see them in the 160s, 150s soon. You're good, Minnie. 100%. And that's the whole point of going through them, though. Don't ever feel discouraged if somebody tells you, oh, that's the wrong candlestick pattern you're looking at. You know, focus on the open and the closes. That's really how you tell the patterns apart from each other so easily. But you're going to say the wrong pattern over and over. And trust me, we were all there at one point. So continue to do that. Continue to guess or to try to, you know, pick out, okay, well, what pattern is this? You know, continue to practice that. Don't ever give up on that. That's the only way to learn. Good morning, Jay. Glad to have you. Exactly, Signal Trader, because what's the point of trading open? Like, there are some really good setups, you know, right at first for a few minutes, but it's just too volatile. You know, it's not really fair to say, like, oh, I keep making mistakes because I'm not sticking to my trade plan. It's not as easy to stick to your trade plan in the first few minutes of the day, so it's just better to wait, kind of get what the initial vibe is of the day, and then try to catch a play. Just be patient. I like that, though. I didn't even really go over Amazon, to be honest with you, Money Lisa. I didn't really like the levels. It's pretty much just like SPY, though. If you go to your price level tool, 101.86 is the pre-market low. That's a good break below. And then also above, previous day close at 103.40s. So these are essentially your starting range. Previous day close down to pre-market low. You have 104 to worry about, 100s to worry about if it breaks higher or lower. But that's essentially what you need to watch for Amazon today, at least right out the gate. If you ain't first, you're last, trading the opening. Well, hell, Ricky. Yep, we have PAL this week. Yeah, AI has been having some buzz for about a week or so now, at least. But PAL's on Tuesday. I'm not really sure about Biden. Morning, Peter. Taught my 4-year-old the importance of trading and how to average a 10 to 15% year-over-year gain. This weekend, now he pays me 30% taxes on all the snackers he eats. And all the snacks he eats. Yeah, I'm gonna teach this kid taxes suck. It's really productive too, Jay, because you're not teaching him to hate you. You're teaching him to hate the government and taxes. The Bueller TA channel, Peter. Bueller-TA. You have to be a paying basic member to see it. Big brain. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's too good. Good morning, Agent Sancho. Glad to have you in here again, man. But Peter, I show, you know, even if you aren't a paying member, you can see my analysis here every single day. I always cover the bigger and smaller time frame of SPY. So you don't have to be a paying member to see that TA. We literally just covered it this morning. That was the first thing I read about. I'm pretty adamant about if I have something that's paid, I also provide something similar or the exact same thing free on another platform somewhere. I don't like to just single source charge everything. Yo, my bad, Big Lou. I was waiting for you, man. I was like, damn, do we start? Good morning, though, Big Lou. Glad to have you. Hit that like button. Man of the people. Yeah, good stuff, Sand Dollar. You and me, I mean, I held for just an overnight swing, but Sand Dollar, guys, has been calling out Baba like day in, day out in chat and in the YouTube chat with very clean TA. Again, not really saying, all right, guys, get into puts, do this, do that. No, he's just kind of giving everybody an idea, and it actually was great. Baba has been coming down very strong since then. And now, Sand Dollar, people who are thinking it looks short are a little late. So that's the whole power of reading candlestick patterns. Too many times do I see people just jump into trades super early and they end up missing out on the better signals. They're waiting for like 10 more signals. Like it's good to wait for multiple confirmations on a chart, but sometimes, you know, you got to click the button to buy essentially. You can't just keep saying, "Oh, this looks good, you know." But great job though, Sandal. I wanted to give you that credit cuz I did really good on that trade and I know you've been doing it for multiple days, so I know you're doing really good. Don't forget to like this live stream. Appreciate you, Rambo. Because I went over them in the stream, Peter. I went over every level on stream. So I just wanted to keep it short so I could add more tickers onto the screen today. Because normally I have SPY and it fills up a quarter of my text box. So I just kept it short today. Aloha, SF. Glad to have you. Always giving us the alohas. Alright, I need to tag I need to tag everybody in chat because 2 different channels just posted. Maybe Streaking Baba. Been a while since that has happened on any ticker. No problem, Peter. I mean, you'll see my levels on my screen, like right now. I'm not going to ignore them. I'm just giving the initial range so people know what's up. Hit those like buttons. SPY is life. What's up, Devo? Love seeing that name pop up. As soon as I saw the last name. Honestly, as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, "Ooh, that's Devo." Glad to have you in here, man. Hope you've been staying warm out there in wild country. Miss you too, Devo. Good morning from Ottawa. Negative 41 Celsius here on Saturday. Wow. You hear that, guys? Andrew lives in Narnia / Antarctica. Oh my god, dude. Like, saying cold isn't even fair to say. I know that's in Celsius, but still. Good morning, JN. Good morning, team. Bueller, love your style, brother. Big thanks for all you do. Thank you, Ner. Appreciate that. That's it. Damn, you're right, Money Lisa. I should have hit him with that. I would step outside and my bones would shatter immediately. That's cold. That's like super cold. And imagine there being wind with that. That's what another thing people don't think about is, like, let's say it's like 32 degrees outside and it's like dry. It's just gonna be all right. You know, you're not gonna be super cold. You know, of course it's cold. Duh, it's 32 degrees, but there's no wind. You know, so it's not as bad. Add wind or even rain that just happened the day before, and it makes it so much more colder. The feels like temperature. I'd never leave the house for real. Nice and warm, 54 degrees here. Here, let me tell you how cold it is here or not. I don't even know. I didn't go outside yet. It is nowhere near as cold as it is for Andrew. That's for sure. It's 59 degrees here. That is wild. 43 degrees in Arizona. Y'all can have the cold, bro. Texas finally thawed. So far. Yeah, 32 is warm for people like Devo and Andrew. That's like their summer temperatures. It's just crazy. ECB, Lagarde speech today at 1, Powell tomorrow, Barr tomorrow, Williams, Barr, Waller Wednesday, Waller and Harker on Friday. So a lot of Fed speakers, and then of course the European Fed, ECB, is talking today. Just looking through some notes. Didn't Dallas get snow? I have no idea. Possibly. 40 is no jacket weather. Of course, DX Mac and Devo are not human. Thankful to have a break from the Finland cold here in Barcelona. I bet. Dallas got sleet and ice rink roads. Well, I'm glad to hear from the people who answered. I'm glad to hear a lot of you guys had a relaxing weekend. That's always good. It's always good to just kind of give yourself a reset on the market. Too many times do I see people get frustrated with trading. And I just tell them, you know, hey, man, you're not really doing a whole lot wrong. You just need to take a break. You need to give yourself this weekend, just kind of not think about stocks or charts. And then Sunday night or Monday morning, reapproach them again. You know, clear your charts, reset them, redo them. Or just leave the bigger time frame levels and redo those smaller time frame levels. You know, you don't always have to reset your levels. But it's good to get kind of a review, you know, if that makes sense. A second look, I guess, at the market or charts whenever you've been taking a break. It's really, really good for your head. Remember, guys, your mental health is way more important than anything. Then it cleared up Friday. Okay. Oh yeah, Jay, you were just there. Looked at the charts yesterday in my free time. When I close my eyes, I see candlesticks. Oh, I don't know if it's a nightmare or not. Trading is a marathon and not a sprint. There's 227 trading days left in the year. Starting with $1,000 compounding at 3% a day equates to $820,446.01. That is wild. Yeah, that's kind of what got me into trading, was just the math and idea of compound interest. It's crazy how much so little can be, you know, over time. And again, all it takes is time. So that's crazy though, Ace. But what's everyone's top watch off of the watch list? Off of the watch list, what is the main one y'all are wanting to look at? Coin, AMD, Meta, Tesla, Apple, SPY, of course, which you don't have to answer SPY. That one's kind of a given. It's like, no doubt we're going to look at SPY. What are the other ones that you guys are focused on this morning or today? No, it is a lot higher, 762, but it was still just kind of a good math example regardless. You like Apple pre-market range the most? Good, good, good. Yeah, I did too. Apple looks really good. Boo Boo said coin. Big Lou said Apple. Yeah, Apple was definitely enticing with that very, very tight, small range between Apple and Tesla for you. Good, good. I was just curious to see what y'all's preferences are. I know everyone's a little different. Some people might like wider ranges. Some people might like a different ticker because of a certain level being in a certain area. Sherman said Apple, Tesla. Jazz said Meta. Amazon or Microsoft breakdown of pre-market low. Mara pairing it with coin. Good job. And yeah, Ace, totally fine. You know, even if you can't afford it or don't want to afford it, huge difference there. That's totally fine. You know, it's still good to go back and get that visual review. Because, yeah, I feel you on that. Too volatile. I'm a spreadsheet autist, so I normally have the 1% daily compounding interest figures memorized. Little nerd. Feel free to share that 2762 if you want. I'm on Discord. Apple and Spy. Good morning, Devin. Or good morning, Tulip. Dev said Apple and Spy. Oh, thank you guys for answering. I was just curious to see what y'all's favorites were just from today's kind of picks. Because I was figuring it'd be between, of course, Apple and maybe Tesla just because of the ranges they've been given right at the beginning. They're a little bit more enticing. And yeah, XLK, the tech sector, QQQ. I mean, this is essentially the better QQQ in my opinion. You're going to need to see them retake between the previous day low and previous day open. If you see them break this, there's a good chance tech starts to move higher. If they can't get past this, though, we're definitely moving lower on tech. They've already broken it. It's essentially the same story for healthcare, except at a different spot. You can see you got your previous day close right here. Previous day opens way up here. You got your previous day low right here. So we'll see what they end up doing against the normal levels today. Discretionary, kind of between their previous day close to previous day low, they need to retake, as well as their previous day open. So they got kind of a wide range here of levels to get past. Comms, this is your Meta, Google, Netflix sector. Discretionary, by the way, is Tesla, Amazon, Nike, McDonald's, Home Depot. Your healthcare stocks, of course. And then your comm sector here, which you can see just like tech, you know, they're kind of down under really good levels. Comms need to get back above essentially both the previous day open and the low as well as the previous day close. So, I mean, there's a couple levels there. Bonds they need to get above. Financials seem to be battling with their previous day low. So, that's essentially a really good pivot point you could watch between. If they get a good bounce off this, previous day close is a little propped up near the 3660s. Those are the majority of the heavier sectors so far. So, just so you have that extra note. And these are great for using for double confirmation. Like with this, you'd look at Apple, Microsoft. With this, you look at, you know, different healthcare tickers. I don't really watch healthcare tickers as much. Discretionary, you could watch, of course, with Amazon, Tesla. This could be good double confirmation with those. Same thing for comms with Netflix, Google, Meta, all that good stuff. So make sure you understand that. I don't just keep this list up for nothing right here. These are all the sectors of SPY, essentially. They were from heaviest to lightest, but they have been changing around for the past, 5-6 months, really. But for the most part, XOK will always be the heaviest sector. XLV is almost always the second heaviest ticker. And then after that, you have discretionary, comms, financials, industrial, staples, so on and so on. I prefer tight range stocks, to be honest with you, Jazz, because I like to wait for that initial breakout. And then I understand that if a short-term retest where you just get that 1 or 2 candle reset, I understand that that is already enough fuel for it to continue just because it has that tight range. Whereas if you had a larger range, I'd want to see that after the breakout. I'd want to see a better, more passive retest before getting in, which is going to minimize your opportunities. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Deep. Glad to have you in here. That's crazy, Peter. 10 days. That is a lot of boring movement. Good morning, Sal. What's up, Mel? How is it indicating weakness? Let me know. Love to hear your thought process. And thank you guys. Over 200 people in here right before the market opened. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. We're still under 100 likes. It does help out the streams a lot and the channel. And again, guys, thank you for checking out the newest videos on the channel. We had a video on Spy a couple days ago, video on Apple, video on Tesla. We're going to be making a video on either Microsoft or Meta next, and then I'll probably do a weird one like Beyond or Baba or Coin, one that I feel a lot of people struggle with. So I'll try to make a couple more of those today, have them scheduled for the week ahead. I'm trying to do a post every 3 days or so. I feel like that's fair. 3 days is very easy to follow for me, and it's not too much, it's not too little. Gives everybody a good amount of content, so I'd prepare for at least 2 more uploads this week, 3 over the next 9 days. I'm trying to keep it at every 3 days. Seems like a decent little thing to do. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting the latest videos, the streams, checking out all the content. It really does mean a lot to me because I do work hard on a lot of what I post. But yeah, glad to see you guys are enjoying some of those uploads. Pretty much came up with the idea for those videos together as a stream, really. I mean, just cover the bigger time frame, cover the smaller time frame, just kind of review a couple of the days, and then move on from there. Ends up making for a good 10, sometimes 12-minute video, sometimes a little less. So, nothing too long. Morning, Carter. How you doing, boss? Started watching the January 2nd seminar yesterday using open, high, low, close now to mark now. Thank you. No problem, Mitch. Glad to see you're reviewing it, man. All right, let's get Devin in here. Super like done. A super like, you just spam it till it like sticks forever.
Yo, yo.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. It's Money Monday. See if we get some good action today. A little bit on the colder side. I wish I had your weather.
Yeah, it's not too bad here. It's just under 60 degrees here. What's up, another ninja? Glad to have you, man. Another ninja. There's too many.
Too many ninjas.
I'm sure I have a few, but I doubt I have them labeled to that exact title, Ace Ventura. I'd have to go look around, but I can make one. A gap down or gap up in pre-market really shouldn't affect anything in your game plan because you have levels from the bigger time frame. Right? So you should have a plan regardless of where we open on the chart. A pre-market gap is just going to be an extra play you could add on. Like right here for Apple, Ace Ventura. Like, we have levels set, so regardless of a gap down or regardless of it opening here or here, up here, we have levels regardless of where we are, right? So the game plan should never be affected. 2, the only thing that's going to add is an extra play, right? So, I mean, maybe not this one. This wouldn't be a feasible gap to trade because it's not that big, but let's say it was a lot bigger than that, right? Then this would be another good entry level, but you have to understand it's a little bit more risky because you're inside a pre-market. You're inside of the extended hour range, so it's not as strong. But yes, if you got a break above this, it'd be a good, early scalp to get in towards the potential gap fill. I would also target other levels though. Don't get tunnel vision on just the gap. You got to remember, previous day close is right there as well. So not only is the top of that gap important for a resistance, but so is 154.50 off the previous day close. So that's another thing to take part of it as well. It's not just, oh, how are they doing on their own, or how are they doing with this huge gap? Like it's also, what are the levels around the current price? You always have a little bit more. But that's essentially how you should look at gaps on any time frame. treat gap ranges as any other level on your screen. You can find 40% entries on them. You can find 80% entries on them. It really just depends on what you're looking at. Well, market's open, guys, and they have been for about a minute and a half. As we're watching Apple just try to hold support. SPY getting some buyer movement. Nothing crazy yet, though.
Tesla getting an initial pop with Amazon. Nothing else moving too much. XOM's getting a nice little move back over to 113. Nvidia coming up a little bit towards that pre-market high.
Keep eyes on Apple. If they continue to hold 152.50s, they can look good for bounces. If they end up losing this area, though, they will have a very nasty fall towards 150. Microsoft headed up to the previous day close. Amazon's out of their initial range. Watch above 104. Posting the Amazon chart for chat. Tesla getting going under the previous day high. Keep eyes on the 199-200 area if we continue higher. Meta, keep eye on 190, 190.30s if they continue higher. AMD already getting going, watching over the pre-market high, 85.50 area. Nvidia is launching, filling their pre-market gap already. Same for Netflix. Oh, I guess I could turn on the 90 EMA for you guys. I know a few of y'all have been asking for me to do that more. There we go. Round of applause for you, Sandollar. Great job on the Baba swing for 227%. Great job, boss.
Dang, that's a lot of coffee, $100. Good stuff, man.
Yes, there's David. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, I covered SPY on bigger and smaller time frames. I just kept the list small today. Yes, there is of course levels on the outside of these, as you can see on my screen.
Nvidia getting up to yesterday close after that pre-market high. See if we can take that.
No problem, David. I just kept my descriptions tight this morning. I know it's very unusual because normally I type out a paragraph.
We got 5 minutes on the first 10-minute candle. Meta coming up a little bit. Tesla still trying to hold up. Nvidia pushing a little bit higher.
Apple's still indecisive and potentially weak. Same for Microsoft. Amazon as well, indecisive at open. Meta and Tesla are pretty decisive to the upside so far. Same for Google, same for AMD, same for Nvidia, same for Netflix. The king and queen are slowing down at open, though. We'll see what they end up doing.
B just coming up a little bit.
You can 762. I've already seen that one though. My friends and I are addicted to Star Wars, so we already. I think I've seen the clip you're about to show.
Meta getting over its pre-market high, showing some strength.
It shows Obi-Wan talking about Ahsoka. I'm assuming. But yeah, I know that we were talking about that this weekend too. That there's always been this thing where you could put video over audio, and it would like you could make Joe Biden do a Snoop Dogg line essentially. But now there's AI where you can just put in content or audio, and it'll kind of like talk for the face, which is kind of weird. Like you could make someone's like if I took a video footage of like Wolf of Wall Street, I could essentially change what he's saying in one of the scenes, and it doesn't look like anything was changed. It's pretty crazy. But no, yeah, I 100% understand what you're saying. Which that actually has been out for a little bit now. It's still fairly new and it's just now trending, but it has been out for a decent amount of time now. But yeah, pretty crazy though. Very, very crazy. Apple potentially losing supports here. We'll see if they crack 151.80s. Very indecisive in the first 10 minutes though.
XOM and Amazon weak as well, bringing Tesla back to pre-market high. Meta's back under pre-market high. Seeing some weakness on almost everything. The video wick down.
I don't know about getting around copyright money. It was just like memes, if anything. Good stuff, Mel. What's up, Sinful? Always happy to see you pop up.
Looks like a slight push up and rejection across most stuff so far. Still waiting on the first 10 minutes.
What's up, Coach? What's up, J-Lamp? Just marking today's open. That's all that is. Nothing crazy.
Netflix getting going, coming up over its pre-market high. See if it gets over 368. Yes, set that yesterday close. At that first 10-minute candle on the market. You got NVIDIA trying to open up on top of that pre-market high, see if that's going to hold.
The saxophone has you levitating. Apple testing the ultimate level. Microsoft trying to break, not today's open, but a very strong pre-market candle. If SPY, Apple, Microsoft break lower, Meta is going to look good for decent risk reward on puts. SPY potentially losing today's open after the first 10 minutes. Getting a wick at today's open, very normal. Keeping eyes on 151.80s on Apple and 255s on Microsoft. Very, very strong supports that need to be broken for bears to take things further down. Keep eyes on 104 on Amazon. If we go above that, that could be a very good buyer move for Amazon for the discretionary sector. Tesla, you're still keeping your eyes on 199, 200 area.
Meta almost back at that previous high, trying to take it out. Google's at pre-market high, so comms are definitely a little bit stronger as Netflix pushes higher. Nvidia's coming up back up to that previous intraday high. So we got a couple things still trying to hold up. Microsoft and Apple getting a little buyers off those pre-market lows, not too much. And SPY really hasn't picked too much of a direction.
SPY breaking today's open again. We'll see if we hold under. Again, keep your eyes on Microsoft 255 and Apple 151.80s.
Amazon rejecting pretty hard off that pre-market high area. Nvidia making a new high. She can get over 214 if it holds 213. Meta making a new high over that previous intraday high.
AMD getting really good buyers now. Same for Tesla and Amazon. Amazon, keep eyes on 104. Microsoft defending the 255.85. Apple's defending the 151.80s.
Nvidia getting some good buyers coming in. Should help out AMD.
J-Lamp, I'm like 99% sure most of these are from the monthly time frame. I decided this one today because it was a lot less levels. If I went to the daily, there's like a shit ton of levels all through here today. So it's not. Don't freak out if it's not matching your exact levels from the daily time frame. Meta went straight up to that previous. I mean, AMD went straight up to that previous day close. Netflix holding on top of their previous day close. Longs here at 365.80s. Don't look bad. Keep your stop loss tight, just under that level. Of course, we don't have much confirmation yet, just because SPY just broke today's open, and what we're witnessing now is them try to retake today's open. Still very early on in a lot of the confirmations we're getting right now, but I do like some of the initial buying we're getting from the supports. Microsoft's still weak, Apple a little bit better, Amazon a little bit better. Tesla's still relatively weak against their high of day, but 200, 199 is the big key area. Meta's trying to pass their key area with lowering volume through the first 20 minutes.
Nvidia just smacked 214. Nice little dollar move on that stock.
AMD's killing it to the upside. %, Daffy. Good morning, Friday. Glad to see you in here. All sectors red. Good call out, Daffy. Good job, Isaiah, looking at other sectors.
Tesla rejecting with Amazon.
240 people in here, 119 likes. Let's try to even that up, everybody. Glad to have you all in here. SPY still struggling with today's open. Good retake of today's open, and prices holding above the 9 EMA. Potentially seeing buyers try to take prices higher here. On SPY, at least. The weights are still battling, though. Apple really hasn't retaken much. They're still sitting on that important support. Microsoft got a decent bounce off the 255.85, but we're still seeing sellers present as we see some wick downs on some of these candles here. Amazon still struggling with the 104s. Tesla back to square one almost. Meta rejecting 190.30s. This song gives you good luck. I'm glad to hear that. Good callouts, guys. I'm seeing a lot of really good updates by people in here without really being too crazy with it. Have a great day, Signal. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for dropping a like on the stream, man. I really do appreciate you. Good job, Mel, with another quick scalp. SPY still getting some good buyers, like I said, off of the 9 EMA.
Yeah, Nvidia still showing strength, pushing new high.
very indecisive on this 5-minute candle here. Apple definitely has some weakness, rejecting 9 EMA and today's open again. First rejection here as it broke through. Second here. Now we're getting a third. Apple not liking today's open so far. Microsoft helping out a little bit as they try to retouch their today's high. Amazon pulling under their 9 EMA. We'll see if they crack 101.80s to the downside. Meta rejecting the 190s pretty well so far. They're about halfway to their open again. Same for Google, same sector. AMD and Nvidia rejecting very good levels from their charts. Netflix coming back down into 365.80s, breaking the 9 EMA. Watch them to crack the pre-market low, which is actually this level here. 362. Coin rejecting the break above area. Like I said, guys, watch BABA outside of the 103s. That looks good for more downside. Yeah, very indecisive candle turning red now after being green for a second.
Not too much volume yet coming in on some of these tickers.
Very indecisive, but still holding today's open on SPY. Very indecisive because we have a small body, very long legs on both sides of that candle. Freddy, I feel that. Apple still defending 151.80s. Keep your eye on that. I'm trying to like Apple and Amazon the most, to be honest. Levels wise. Still indecisive, but also holding today's open. A very bullish sign as long as we hold 409.79. Keep watch to see if Apple loses 151.80s or not. That is still in play. Lower high on Microsoft, watching to see if they can retake today's open or if they're going to fall through pre-market low. Amazon's still weak, heading even lower, but still has not broken anything significant. 101.80s are in the way before more downside. Still just waiting for a better decisive move here on anything. I do like that we've pushed up, kind of held a decent area, and then pushed up again. This can give really good leeway for a breakout to the upside on SPY, as long as they hold their today's open. If we end up cracking this, we're going to need more information to see a better buy up.
About to get that new 30-minute candle on the market. New 10-minute candle coming up, about 20 seconds. It is potentially making a 3-bar play here on the 10-minute. See if it takes out that 214 with the 3-bar play.
Microsoft looking a lot better than it did in the beginning, and a lot better than Apple. Amazon trying to hold support still. Tesla building pressure. Meta building pressure. AMD building pressure. Nvidia looks a little tired unless it gets some help by other sectors here. Remember, Peter, those haven't been as strong as opposites lately for a few months now. So they're not going to be perfectly opposite. The discrepancy between those two have been slowly moving apart. Triple Q keeps inching higher while SPY failing to make new highs. Bull trap? Possibly, Freddy. Nvidia, AMD doing pretty well from here. I'd like to see if Microsoft can make that new high of day. If not, that's going to definitely add on to the Apple weakness if Apple breaks lower again.
XOM's at pre-market low. If it cracks 111, could keep coming down towards 110.
Who'd you say?
XOM.
Oh.
About to break pre-market low. 111, come down towards 110.
Microsoft getting going. See if they break that high of day or not. If so, they're going to go smack that previous day close.
Nvidia's playing out that 3-bar, moving higher. See how much oomph it can get.
Yep, Apple's still weak Friday. Good call out. Definitely not helping out much for either direction. Good rejection of the high, meat of the high of the day so far on SPY, 5 minute. Apple's still weak. We either get a pop over today's open and they go fill that pre-market gap, or they're gonna pop under 151.80s. That'll help sway Microsoft to either side. Amazon, good pickup. They're fighting today's open again. Remember, their range is 101.80s to 104. Tesla weak under the 90 MA again. See if they want to push lower down at today's open, or if they're going to keep range trading like they have been. Meta looking to pop over 190.30s or a retracement back down to today's open if this ends up being a lower high. Google relatively weak. AMD wick down again. Same for Nvidia. And Netflix trying to defend the lower side of its pre-market right now. Coin consolidating. Looks like they want to try to pop out of 74.65 here pretty soon. Thank you guys for over 150 likes on the stream today. Appreciate you all. Good call out, D-Touch. He said Microsoft's above the pre-market high as well as the today's open, which is a good sign. Still weak. You can see the wicking down towards the end of that candle, but still nice to see Microsoft trying to push out of its range now. This might help other tickers as well, especially Apple, considering they're relatively weak today. They can just keep curling up right here and get over today's open. Be a very good sign by Apple and Microsoft. Possibly Friday. I like that idea a lot. Just by trying to make that move. I mean, it has the potential here. It just needs that follow through. Just smack those 411s real quick. Apparently, the CEO of this stock sold 97% of his holdings.
He don't believe in his company or he's moving.
Is Friday after Thursday? You gotta hit him back now, Friday. He called you out. Spy's a nice curl, but it needs to break out soon. Facts. No follow through so far. Good potential, like I said, just no follow through. Good job keying trades. Good job getting banned within 5 seconds of joining. Solid work. World record.
Joins, drops link.
Yeah, not helping out Apple, that's for sure. Good point. Friday. Friday's Apple is starting to look good for a curl up too. Tech might be leading us down here pretty soon if at this rate. Really just a bunch of consolidation though. Had good pushes, good lower highs. Just no follow through. Same for Meta, another lower high.
Nothing's really moving. We're just kind of waiting, playing the waiting game right now.
If everything pulls down, I like Nvidia the most for a pullback because they've been extended so much in their breakout today. Good push down to like 210 would be a good watch. if everything pulls down. Facts, King Carnage, that's the mindset to have.
Apple coming to test that previous intraday low. See if we're going to finally take it out. XOM re-breaking pre-market low.
SPY just battling today's open. Large pullback on Microsoft so far. Not helping out Apple as they test their low of day under 151.80s. Apple does look good for more downside. Could also be the essentially leading factor to pulling us all down here in a minute. We'll see though. Meta, Tesla got good wick ups. Google pulling back more. AMD and Nvidia have seller candles at resistance. Be very careful for a potential pullback. Hey, that's what's up, Central. For real, Noxta. IWM about to break pre-market low. Good call out, Freddy. Possibly breaking today's low of day here in a minute. Already breaking the meat of it now on SPY 5 minute.
Get some short-term volume coming in on the SPY sellers. See if that's going to transfer over as Apple's breaking that low a day. Bringing Microsoft back down. XOM's coming down. Amazon's not looking too hot. Berkby's under pre-market low going towards yesterday low at 306. Netflix coming down after that little push up towards pre-market low.
Not crazy volume on that Apple drop. Same for the Microsoft drop. AMD strong pullback. Ever since those seller candles on AMD and Nvidia, we've gotten really, really good pullbacks. Good job if anybody was paying attention to those or just trading on their own. Really, really good ideas there. See if Microsoft ends up cracking 255 or if they're going to end up holding that pre-market range or not. I'm still not sold with this move here on Spot or Apple. That's not really the strongest move. SPY looks more convincing than Apple does. Rising volume SPY 5 minute. Like I said, looks a lot better than Apple does.
XOM coming down steady, same with Berkby. Definitely not helping SPY. Meta's rejecting a little bit more.
God, Google not liking that at all. Whoo, huge move on AMD now. Same for Nvidia. Huge moves on both of those from those seller candles at resistance. Probably the only few signals I've liked so far. Apple as well, finally.
New 10-minute candle.
Rising volume, but that candle isn't really the greatest. Would not be surprised if SPY comes down and tests at least the pre-market low, but we'll see if some buyers step in after that initial drop and see if they want to retest today's open from underneath. A lot more distance here, though, than the first time they fell. Small caps falling hard, good call out Moon. Dollar new high of day, good call out Daffy. Yes, it does matter, Boo Boo, because that could take some of the, I guess you could say, energy out of the breakouts. That would definitely affect it. There you go. SPY continuing lower. See if they go smack that pre-market low or not. Apple pulling back down more as well. Same for Microsoft. A lot of the top weights are pulling back down more, which makes sense.
Nvidia right back at that 210 pre-market high. Pullback Josh called out, working out nicely.
Nah, bro, don't call it, please.
Please.
Yeah, those are like the only two charts I like this morning, to be honest. Like after the open, AMD and Nvidia were probably the only two that made sense to me. Everything else is a little hard to look at. Again, when the markets close, it'll be very easy to look at this stuff because nothing's moving. But in the heat of things, it's very hard to understand, all right, which one's moving down first, which one has the best risk reward in comparison to the overall market. Amazon breaking pre-market low right now. Microsoft headed to the 255, like I said. Apple, even with this drop on everything, Apple really not getting the fuel to get that bigger drop yet. Keep your eyes to see if they retake 152.50s or not. Impressive defense, though, by Apple. Even while hanging off the level there. Kind of dangling off into thin air. Hey, good stuff, Money Lisa. Yeah, looks like so far, Noxta. Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, the only big weights on SPY holding green still. Could call out Boo Boo. Took 50% SPY poots, entered Amazon poots. Looking for a 100.90 Amazon gap. Good job, Rambo. Round of applause to you, man. Good job, Moon. And yeah, getting some buyers on the wick up. Good call out, Daffy. Healthcare is perfectly in range. Discretionary broke lower. Tech broke lower, but they haven't broken pre-market, so keep eyes on that for XLK. XLC's been doing really good to the downside. Meta is really the only reason XLC isn't doing worse, to be honest. They're holding up pretty well today. Energy back to the lower side of their bigger time frame chart. A break of 70 is what a lot of people are looking out for to see if that breaks or not. Because if not, you're going to get another good short-term bounce. Most likely to mid-70s, higher 70s. Still impressive. Heat map of today so far. As you can see, like a few of you have already pointed out, there's really only a couple tickers within each sector that are really holding everything from really falling a lot nastier. So good callouts from everybody who is doing that. You can see Tesla up 2.5, Nvidia, Schwan. It's really just one or two tickers of each sector holding. AMD back to the lower side of the chart under today's open. You should be taking profits on the AMD play, and that would also bring good profit taking on the Nvidia play. So good job for anybody who took either of those trade ideas. Great work. I would definitely take profits on those and chill, sit on your hands. Round of applause for Mel. Round of applause for Jazz. Round of applause for Kane. Good job on the trades, guys. And Wag. Great work. And Rowdy. Glad to see you guys taking advantage of the trade results channel. Remember to post a chart. If you really want to be mature about it or be responsible over your own trading, 100% would be smart to circle entries, circle and exit, and type out your thought process. Why'd you buy? Why'd you sell? Why'd you like it? What were things you didn't like? How'd you feel during the trade? How'd you feel after the trade? SPY, PML, very close. Apple drifting further and further away from levels in the 9 EMA. Still not really that far though. Haven't really gotten that huge sell-off move like we've seen on SPY and a couple other tickers. Microsoft down to their pre-market low. Keep your eye on the 255s. Amazon's already broken the 101.80s and moving a little bit lower from the candle before. Meta fighting to stay green on the open. Google making a new low of day. We'll look to see if they can break the pre-market low or not. Still perfectly above it. SPY fighting the PML. As you guys can see, we're waking up a little bit. Could call out Boo Boo. Could call out Friday. SPY breaking a new low of day. Breaking the pre-market low. Good job, Brady. Be sure to post your review so you get better insight on future opportunity. If you entered here, though, you should have had pretty decent confidence, and as long as it doesn't break back above the 102s, you should still have confidence. Next candle confirmed really just indecisiveness, and now you're getting more sellers popping up, so you should be taking profits now. It's not a crazy thing to see there, Brady, regardless of emotions. Very nice spot to get out of that.
Microsoft at that pre-market low now.
Meta almost back to today's open as Google crashes lower. AMD said that's not enough. We need to go more. Breaking pre-market low. Nvidia not really getting much reaction from that secondary move to the downside. Keep your eyes on this little area here where price kind of bounced that first time. Moved up higher. Now they're back there again. This will be an area where they can break lower.
I get some good volume in here under this pre-market low.
SPY fighting to hold this as the pre-market low. Very strong wick up on SPY 5 minute. Decent volume. So that's the second most volume on the day. Would not be surprised if we saw a bounce back up to 409.79 where they broke price from today's open. Basically, as long as this doesn't break, you should be looking for a buyer relief movement up into where they fell from. So about this support near today's open as well as about right here. So kind of this general vicinity. They end up cracking support. We have to assume they want to take at least halfway point of the range at 407.50 and possibly 406.50. So keep your eye on those two levels if we do crack. Keep your eye on today's open if we do bounce.
So coming down pretty good. See if it's going to crack and get down to 189. Pre-market low. So, as Amazon's moving lower. XOM's still been moving lower ever since it broke pre-market low. Microsoft never cracked that pre-market low. Still in a
Neither
pretty
did
tight
SPY.
range.
They're still holding. Would not be surprised if we got a relief bounce.
So far, Nvidia's bounced off that pre-market high. It's trying to move higher. If it goes out and retakes 214, that'll be good for the markets.
Coin got a pretty good hammer at the same exact spot. Pre-market low. Baba trying to hold base. Tesla, another really good one with a very strong hammer in the same general vicinity as the pre-market low from SPY. Meta trying to break today's open. Watch for either a push under today's open down towards the 185 or look for a hold like we're seeing in a couple other tickers now. Even Google's getting a nice little short-term relief bounce.
30 seconds on the next 10-minute candle. Those buyer reactions on a couple of these stocks. XLM started to get some buyers coming in finally. Brick B tried to hold yesterday low. Nvidia's still pushing up, trying to get back over 212.
Potential bear flag here on SPY if they keep projecting the 90 EMA in this manner. Look out for a open range breakout under the pre-market low if this does end up holding. Good job, premium chat. They bought Amazon puts on Friday at 119. They're trimming right now. 2/3 of the position at 1.65. Good job, anybody who took that premium play. Might be seeing a bearish retest on Apple if they can't get back over their 90 EMA or 151.80s. Good job on Amazon just in general. From the 40% entry breakout, rising volume under the level. They made it straight to that first target at about 100.65. Trading water now. Peter, you didn't hear everything I said, man. I said bear flag, but I also covered what both sides could do. Again, you should never be bearish or bullish, essentially. I say bear flag because you have a drop and you have a retest of about the halfway point of that drop. That makes a bear flag. That's just facts. What I just said was facts. That's not me being bearish or bullish. You can watch over buyers over the 90 EMA and over today's open. That could invalidate a potential bear flag. What would validate it? The new low of day. So we haven't really validated it either yet. It's not just one side or the other. There's both. Good job, Brady, posting your review. I'm missing a few. Ooh, nice. D-Touch had a... What is this? That's a pretty good loss, though. I like that you tried to hold through that. I could see why. And that was a good cut spot. A good loss. Of course, Mel with his massive gains.
Get it, Mel.
Ooh, good job, Sandollar. He played Amazon puts. Beautiful job, brother. And Brady. Good job, Brady. Yeah, that was an emotional cut, Brady. I was kind of curious where you ended up selling. That was definitely emotional, but as you already stated. You just got to remember, man. What is my stop area? Where do I want to see price hold under? Where would I not want to see price hold over, right? Because that never even got close to break. It did have a weird candle after the initial, entry candle. I will give you that. But that definitely didn't say anything that said, hey, get out of this trade. Don't let that wick up scare you. There wasn't as much volume on that one. But still, nonetheless, really good entry. Now work on that exit. Very, very nice. Small gain, but really good example.
So I'm almost back at pre-market low. See if you can retake that, or is it going to reject and give us an 80% to the downside? Meta's been holding up pretty well since the retest, trying to come back up.
No problem, Brady. Thank you for posting. I appreciate anybody who posts their reviews in chat, because it helps not just people in chat, but themselves as well. Ben, I can't tell if you're messing with me. Possible 80% entry on Apple if bulls don't retake 151.80s area. There you go, Friday. Good setup. I like how you said as long as, just because as long as they don't retake something, just because it's good to plan for both sides, like I just explained on SPY too. It looks like my little analysis of us possibly holding this hammer and trying to retest between, I was saying between like the meat of this area and today's open. I would not be surprised to test that. Even if it just means hitting it and wicking down.
You're a wizard, Bueller.
It's just, I mean, that's happened so many damn times while we've been streaming. This candle will literally pop up. Whether it's at today's open on top of it, or today's high and then on top of it, or down here at a support, it doesn't matter. Anytime you see rising volume pop up, and it ends up being one of the highest volume of the day, and it's a hammer candle, that's a very strong buyer candle, as long as it doesn't break that support that they're currently trying to hold. Which we saw, I think 3 or 4 of them work, but we saw 1 or 2 of them fail. So most of them have worked. But that is a very beautiful candle. As I've already told y'all many, many, many times, it's one of my favorite candles to see on the market. It's very easy to see, it's very easy to understand, and it's a very, very strong indication. See you later, Daffy. Have a great rest of your day, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, everybody, if you haven't already. Thank you very much.
Seconds from our next 10-minute candle. Then we have one more 10-minute candle before the next 30-minute candle on the market. Microsoft getting some buyers, trying to come back up. Same with Apple.
Good job, Rambo.
Rambo in the market.
Good job, Green Musk, on that mention. Launch mode for app or for SPY.
Yeah, boy. It looks like Tesla helping us out. XLM helping out a little bit. Nvidia's still pushing up after that retest. Microsoft slowly drifting back up to yesterday low. See if we can retake that. Apple at pre-market low. If we're going to be able to take out that previous intraday high area. The video is almost back to that 213, 214 area after retesting pre-market highs. See if that's going to break out and go towards yesterday high.
Does it matter the volume is so low on this move to the upside? I mean, it's not really low, though, because you got to remember, this was your igniting part of the move, right? So the big portion of the volume has already came in. So does it need to have rising volume? No, not necessarily. And now you do have rising volume in this candle. This actually popped very early on in this candle. So maybe not in between, but it was a very strong retake of the 9 EMA, as well as from that hammer candle. This was the buyer signal, not any of these. Just to let you know. But remember, you don't always need rising volume to continue higher, just like you don't always need rising volume to continue lower after a break of a level. It just gives you stronger information. But these weren't the indicators. This was. So that's why they didn't really necessarily need them. But we got pretty good volume on that candle. That's almost tied with the third most volume of the day. And validated the bear flag by popping up over the 9 EMA as well as the halfway point. If you go from today's open to the low of that move, this candle invalidated the potential bear flag that was occurring. That was, even if it didn't have rising volume, it invalidated that move. So that was strong. That's exactly what I broke down before it happened. Just to let people know, yes, could this be a bear flag? Of course it could. But what could invalidate it? That's what we covered. Because I again don't want to sit in here and ever cover a scenario where it's like, all right, guys, we're only bearish, or all right, guys, we're only bullish. You know, there's always both sides of the story to talk about. There's always both sides to think about. What's possible, and this isn't good for in terms of like trying to guess what's going to happen. It's just really good to preemptively think about what's possible on both sides. That's what's important.
We got 5 minutes left on this 30-minute candle in the market, and so far I really like this Tesla 30-minute candle. If we can get back over previous day high 199-200 area, Tesla could potentially get a move today. It's got some nice volume coming in.
That's a good hammer candle.
Mm-hmm.
It's all relative, Tristan. So if you're looking at a 5-minute EMA cross, yes, that's good, but it's only good for short term because you're on the 5-minute compared to if you're looking at like the daily, where it looks a little better for more mid-term, more long-term signals. It's all relative. Jesus, Peter.
Microsoft right at that yesterday low. Apple right at pre-market low with Amazon. Meta's drifting back towards that pre-market high. Same with Tesla. Fuse trying to re-get yesterday low. All right, 2 minutes on these next candles.
Yeah, let me know, Sandollar. Let me know when the next round's coming through on Baba Poots. Potentially, yes, Tristan. Good example. Remember, nothing is something that happens all the time. Just because it happens doesn't mean it's for sure going to move. And this is why it's always important to think about both sides so you understand where you should keep a stop in place or to keep yourself in a safer distance in your trade on whatever you're taking it off of, whatever EMA on whatever time frame.
Got these new candles. Apple trying to creep over pre-market low. Same with Amazon. Microsoft trying to creep over yesterday low. Tesla Meta still right against those pre-market highs. XOM right at pre-market low.
No, Freddy. Here, I'll show you an example of a 40% entry. The one that everybody was looking at on Amazon happened today. I went over it as well, but you might have been busy. So the break below on Amazon today was the pre-market low, right? Because it's the open range breakout area that we're looking at. Price is way up here. They just kind of trade. They hit reject. We get a lower high or double top even. That's a good sign for a potential breakdown if they can't get over that resistance. They end up failing. They break that little low right here. Still just in range, nothing serious. And then they finally exit out of that range with rising volume. Again, they're the only parameters for catching a 40% entry is finding a candle close. Let me make it so you can see everything clean. Getting a candle close outside of a mentioned level, outside of one of our levels. So a good close under with rising volume over the previous candle. So candle to candle accumulation. That's what I want to see. So that's a 40% entry. Remember that. It's very easy to remember because it's the simple one. Right? What you're looking at is a potential retest. Some people in here will say 80% entry. I just like to say retest whenever it's that kind of move. An 80% test is whenever you, kind of like right now actually, you see price kind of pushing down, you get that relief bounce, and you look for it to do one of two things. You get the short-term retest, which you go from the break of the level where price broke to the low of that move before recovery happened, right? So then you would want to look at either one, this area between the golden pocket and the halfway point, which is where a bunch of good short-term retests happen. So sometimes you'll get a move up into here and then it rejects and pushes back down to low of day. You take profits again. Or you get the full retest, which is kind of what you got now. A full retest all the way up to the level in which they fell from, right? So this would be a full retest, a full 80% entry. So that's the difference between those. Yeah, exactly. A closer fit to it. Exactly. I just wanted to give you the example difference just because you are correct, but I just wanted to let you know the difference and why I wasn't just saying, yeah, it's an 80%. But yes, essentially, you're correct.
All right, trying to pop that previous intraday high, see if we can get over 411. Apple coming up, Microsoft coming back up, Microsoft faster than Apple. Tesla getting back over that pre-market high, see if we take out 197, 198, then 199, going towards 200. Pretty much every dollar, got a little spot on Tesla right now. Nvidia is still pushing up off its retest, still, but right under 214. See, we're going to take that out.
Good call out Sand Dollar. Wow, they're up to previous day low. That's impressive. You weren't kidding. On the 80% entry, are you looking for a hold of that level? Which level? Like as it rejects? Or what are you You want to see it with lowering volume because that would give you a better indication of it being weak approaching that price, Dominic. But you are going to see, like you see with today's hammer for up, you could see the same thing for down. So if we were to get a really good, super long wick, very small body, really, really big volume at resistance or at the area we're looking for a rejection, then that would also be a good signal. So it's not fair to just say just lowering volume, but yes, essentially you are correct. Sam Ram, the Golden Pocket is just a very strong historical area. I could give you the whole mathematic rundown of it, but really it's just really important because a lot of people and a lot of big money pay attention to it. As long as algorithms are practically coded to pay attention to the Golden Pocket of any range. So that's why I kind of watch between the halfway point and the Golden Pocket because those are two very high value areas, if that makes sense. Now SPY swept the high and Q's failed. Nobody has a clue what's going on. Yeah, anybody who tells you they do know what's going on is lying. Nobody knows what's going on. Ooh, right there. That's a good passive 80% entry right there. I didn't even notice. So you got a good rounding bottom across the, what is this, pre-market low. They end up getting a good rising volume close over the 9 EMA. You can see right here. Not lowering, but low volume under the average volume here. And you see another rising volume entry right here. So actually, AMD actually looks pretty good for more upside. By itself, of course. You'd want to double confirm this with NVIDIA, which NVIDIA looks pretty good as long as they get above the 214s. And SPY, so you have a double confirmation outside of just looking at AMD. But I actually do like AMD for more upside if it can continue to hold this rising volume area here above the 9 EMA. As soon as they crack that, they're back down to making a higher low or a potential double bottom, maybe even breaking lower. So keep your eyes on that. But I really like the fact that they're trying to hold their today's open as well. 84.60 seems to be a very strong area, not just from recent price action, but from today's open as well. That is a key area. Oh, 100%, Darren. You're 100% correct. Especially behind SPY, just because, like you said, the overall market, just because SPY has recovered from its dip. There's a lot of things doing that, though, to be fair. But no, true, AMD does look good. But I like that, though. I like that volume.
Good eye, Freddy. Right as we're like kind of saying that example too, it's kind of funny. It's crazy too, because someone who's just now logging into the markets right now would be like, "Oh, we haven't really done anything," but we've actually done a pretty good amount. I'd say the drop was a little harder to catch. I'd say the rise was a lot easier to catch. That was very strong. Again, seeing pattern with positioning. Like, let's say we're in an uptrend. You know, where's the best spot to buy your long plays and your short plays? Of course, it's best to be, whoops, it's best to be bearish as you approach resistance. Say you have price, you know, doing all these crazy numbers. It's going to be best to look for those bearish patterns, or for those, you know, rallies with potential seller candles popping up against that resistance, and vice versa against support, you know. So you should be doing the same thing with your levels. If you see support, you should be looking for buyer candles as long as they don't break under, vice versa. Patterns with positioning. Still just seeing to see if SPY can break over today's high of day and push towards 412s for a potential push over, or if we're just going to get a range straight into a rejection, which can bring another retest of today's open. They're at 409.79. Hey, nice, Tobias. On SPY or on some other ticker? Thank you for tuning in, Tobias. I appreciate you checking in on us. SPY and AEX, the Dutch index, since I don't have capital gains on that. Okay, nice.
Nvidia right at that previous intraday high. See if we're going to take out 214. That retest the pre-market high, slowly grounded up to the previous high.
It pushed a new high of day and then slowly closed a little bit lower, but still closing the highest close of day so far after today's open. So potentially seeing a good bounce or a good rally into the 411.50, 411.60s we have marked, as long as they're holding that. A lot of room underneath now for them to continue higher without having to take any nasty pullbacks. They could take a pretty good sized pullback and still have a good rally. So we'll see what happens here in a few moments. But still, nice good recovery again from that hammer we saw this morning. I love seeing those candles work.
So it's above the bodies of intraday action. It's just got to take that wick out at 198 now and 199.
Last year I paid more tax in the USA than in Europe. LOL, your tax system sucks. Yeah, it's just not organized. It does suck, though. Which is why I think we're seeing so much, not reform yet, but we're seeing a lot of politicians on both sides. It's not just a Democrat or just a Republican issue anymore. Both sides are bringing this to the table. So it'll be very interesting to see if the taxes do get changed. The tax system that we all are so aware of now, you know, it'll be crazy to see if that gets changed. Which, I mean, I think it'll be for the better benefit of the United States and its citizens, but we'll see. But they're initially looking like they're trying to set it up like Europe, because a lot of European countries go off of a like kind of percentage thing, and they have like kind of a tier system, I guess you could put in your head. But in that tier system is where you get taxed. It just depends on age, how much you make. Whereas here, it's a completely different system. So, and at crazier percentages, like it's not even close. But that's again just hope. Nothing's happened. And of course, politicians do their best at just hyping up good topics, not actually pushing them through, so we'll see what happens, but we'll see. Yeah, flat tax, that would be pretty nice. They already did do some reform, though, you know, so it's nice to see that they already, like, you know, the whole Venmo thing, like, oh, if you have more than $600 in your account. At first, and for most of all last year, they kept scaring everybody, saying you're going to definitely have to report this, and then they took that off. Now you don't have to report that if you did just over $600, and they're trying to change it to where it's about, I think, 20,000 or 10,000 or maybe 15, somewhere in between there. Whereas before it was like, I think it was over 25K, so... I could see why they would want to lower that a little bit, just to kind of catch more people doing sketchier shit. But at the same time, like $600, dude, like your everyday normal person is going to use more than $600 or see an exchange of $600 or more within their accounts. Like that's just wild. So that was the problem for me, was the size of the decrease. You know, it wasn't the fact that they wanted to decrease; it was the size of it. It was like, dear Lord. Spy pushing higher. See if we get this new high of day here from the previous candle to this one. Perfectly testing the same level. And there it goes. New high. Let's see if they can reach the 411s. It's mid to higher 411s is what we're really looking at right now. But 412 is essentially the area we need to see push higher from on bigger time frames. So be very interested to see if Spy can hold that level or not. If we get a good wick here with a small body and some rising volume, this could also bring in some sellers. For the same reason we saw that very strong buyer candle at the 408s. I'm not sure, Hooten. I haven't looked at the Amazon daily yet, and it's also not the end of the day, so it's not really fair to say. If you go off of what price action looks like right now, you might get a completely different picture than what it looks like at the end of the day. So I would prefer you to wait till the end of the day if you really want to get a better high probability find.
Nvidia getting a nice push higher over that previous high day. Microsoft coming to that pre-market highs. Apple's trying to come up and break that previous high a day opening price area. Could be pretty bullish for SPYs. It's trying to break this 411. Amazon's trying to get back over pre-market lows. Tesla's pushing higher. Merc B's made a nice recovery at pre-market high.
Good call out, Mini. Good job, Friday. Deep adding on to Darren earlier saying AMD lagging. There might be lagging, and they're holding a really good spot. Again, they're holding the open. They're holding over with 2 candles here. They're now holding over those 2 candles. So, I mean, it's just looking better and better for a potential upside move. If you see a break of that area, though, should not be in that.
You just tap 215.
Thank you, bro. Watch your streams every morning. I'm a beginner trader, only 18 years old, and have learned a lot from you. Thank you, man. I'm glad to have you in here, Hooten. And good job, man. If I could slap the 18-year-old me, I would. So good job, man. Keep at it. Hey, what's up, Jack? Now that you're back, the rally's over.
About 30 seconds off a new 30-minute candle, new 10-minute candle.
I mean, technically, you did get a pullback. This is what I was explaining earlier to you. This was one pullback for the bounce here. But even if you don't, you're like, oh, but I mean after the rally. Okay, well, you had a pullback here. You know, if you go from today's open to the high, which really you should go to here. But in all honesty, I'll just rather just go to here. Because it's a little bit more, you know, makes more sense. Because this is where we kind of slowed down at was here. Couldn't move any higher here. Couldn't move any higher here. Couldn't move any higher here yet. So this is kind of where we slowed down from this bounce, right? So I'm going from the area we broke above to the high of the area that we bounced from, right? Or bounced to and slowed down at. This being held was your short-term retest. So no, you don't actually need a longer retest now because this happened. So, but you were asking if we did get a pullback, could you? I was just saying we already have had one, so there's a chance they already want to continue higher. But yes, if you do get a good pullback, you want to watch this area hold, since this is now that better pullback spot, or that today's open. But also, in the same sense where we went from today's open to that first slowdown, you could do the same thing here. You know, we kind of bounced above this area, now we've slowed down here. It's not really enough to go off of yet. So essentially, you're really just looking to see, can we hold this last high that we broke above? That's more of your short-term retest spot. Can they hold that? If so, they can continue higher. Do they have to pull back at all? No, they've already had a good short-term retest, and then this morning they took that larger retest that gave them a lot more strength to the upside. This is good added on strength, and now we're just, what we've seen is barely just, pretty much just an excrement of this bullish run. The scraps.
The video with the slow chug up still. Amazon getting over that pre-market low.
Good
Microsoft still running. What's that?
I was just saying good call-outs on Amazon.
Microsoft still just right against that pre-market high yesterday close. So see if we can get through that.
Yeah, they defended 255 so damn well. I remember we looked at them and a couple others that you mentioned when we had that hammer on SPY. Devin, just because I haven't really needed to use Discord as much, I left your DMs on my screen, and just seeing that GIF over and over is like...
That was a funny one this morning. I seen that one. I was like, yeah, that's the one.
I've seen that one a few times because I always remember the gripping the tile with the toes part. Yeah.
I imagine that's what John looks like because he has all the valid issues. The video finally slowing down a little bit.
See you later, Tobias. Have a great rest of your day.
Need to see SPY really get over 411. It hasn't got confirmed over 411 for more upside on all these tickers. So definitely keep those stop losses close. XLM's almost at yesterday low now, coming back up from that pre-market low break earlier. Nice dip bottom.
See you later, Gorov. Have a great rest of your day, man. 412 is an issue for SPY. Not can be, it is.
411 is an issue. We gotta get through 411 first.
Yeah, it's 411, 412 is essentially what needs to get past.
Yeah.
The whole area, because you go back to the bigger time frames, and we need to get past all of this. We've essentially just tested halfway of this kind of range here. We need to hold here really well, and then potentially we could push through the 420s if we hold here. Be just another good short-term retest. We've seen multiple of them on this recent bounce. I told everybody too, all this amount of consolidation is gonna be crazy in a few weeks, and you can see a few weeks later, we're way up here in the 410s. Down here, the consolidation was under 388. You know, that's a crazy rally so far, and we hit almost 420. You need consolidation for good breakouts. SPY definitely had it on this recent rally. Mike's asking how much did you bench? Weren't those 345s on each side? Devin? Oh, he's muted. Never mind.
Mike, that was 315. A little lightweight. Tesla rejecting 197. Couldn't get over that. You need to see it get over that to get 198, 199.
And yeah, pretty good rally on AMD. They ended up getting a really good push, pretty much up to the point where they held their short-term flag to the upside here. They kind of pushed up to that point, rejected, and now they're going to test, can they hold that today's open? And if not, you will see a good flush. If we can get a good hold here, there's still a good chance for this to consolidate a little longer and potentially push higher. SPY hitting pretty close to the top of the range. Like I said, guys, 411, 412 is going to be a very strong area for us to kind of stay underneath for a while. So we'll see if we end up holding above this short-term retest. If not, then we will be pulling back to the 9 EMA. Under 9 EMA, we have the 410 area. If we end up holding this area, we look for a bounce through the 411, 412 range that we're looking at on the bigger and smaller time frames. It's very important on every spectrum right now. Alright guys, let's do one more review for SPY and then we'll cut the stream. But overall, you might have seen high of day on bigger time frames, 411 to 412. We'll go over that in a second. 411 to 412 is a very important area that we need to get past to see higher levels like 415, 417, 420, and even past 420s to be seen. So better risk reward for shorts up here until we get past these resistances. So I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled us back down. We started consolidating more. It's looking like they're wanting to keep us between the initial range that we had today between the pre-market low and the bigger 411, 412 resistance. So that's one nice thing. I wouldn't say that to the downside was easy. It was definitely nice to look for, but I would say the easier play today was when we saw the hammer pop up at the pre-market low for a very strong, it was the second most volume on the day still. Even after that candle, it's still the second most volume on the day at the pre-market low. Very, very strong support. They end up holding that, continuing higher. And I said just look towards today's open, maybe today's high. Past that, it's you're kind of reaching too far. Those are the main areas you want to look for when you see a bounce to the upside after a dip in the initial pre-market session or even early morning session like we saw today, is the today's open. Today's open is a very strong level to get back towards. On the bigger time frames, I'll pull that back up now for you. You can see all we've really done is push out of the needed breakout spot, hit the next area, slow down, and just getting a retest. So what we're really essentially looking out for is this retest a retest or is this going to pull back? So it's not really fair to say, all right, guys, jump into swings here and there. If anything, you should be just neutral right now because this could essentially lead us over 420s or pull us all the way back down to under 400s. It really can go to either side from here. So this is not a time to just be guessing or predicting in any of your trades right now. Be very strong in your conviction in trading. Be sure to review some of the trades, some of the different breakdowns here in today's stream, as well as some across the recent videos. But be sure to check out my most recent video. We'll see you guys later on. Anything else, Devin?
Send your trade reviews.
Yep, trade reviews. There you go. But we'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any other information or you just want to ask questions or engage still, feel free to join the Discord in the bio of the YouTube. We are there every day. So I'll see you guys later on.